Hi, my name is Chad, and thank you for tuning into the Breaking Chad podcast. This is my first guest, Alex Weaver. How are you doing today, man?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Pretty good. So, what have you been up to?
So, I'm just doing massage therapy, doing some yard work, getting outside, um, taking in some hiking, some walking, and going out on my kayak when I get a chance.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just living my best life right now, being busy, and also some time for myself, because you got to do that.
We live in northern Michigan, and if you know anything about tourists, there's a lot of tourists up here this time. So, where have you been hiking at?
So, I'll usually take, the North Central bike trail that goes from here all the way up to Mackinac.
Yeah.
I usually take that, and I'll start, from my house, and then there's just, that trail goes all the way, usually about, maybe, 8 or 9 miles, and, that's what it is, round trip total is, 8 miles.
Yeah.
It's not anything overly, amazing to look at, it's scenery wise, but there is this really cool farmhouse that is out on Congdon Road.
Yeah.
And I always stop to take a look at it. I usually go right around sunset, so I can take a look at this really cool looking this little farmhouse. There's a barn and a silo, and it's got a very kind of a rustic vintage look to it. But
Heck yeah, I know where that's at.
Yep.
It's just basically my backyard.
yeah, just right off Condon Road, and
Yeah. That's cool.
and once in a while I'll get out kayak and head out on Otsego Lake.
So
It's good for the shoulders. I mean, they're
Yeah.
they're super sore at the end of the day, but that's usually every day with massage.
Yeah, dude, I love kayaking. The last time I went kayaking with some friends from work, and they took us to Otsego Lake. And I know it wasn't Otsego Lake; it was the one a little south of Otsego Lake in Waters. I can't.
Bradford?
Yeah, Big Bradford Lake. And we're kayaking through there. It was pretty good. There was a little, a sandhill area where we can camp out and make a thing for your hammocks and just watch the sunset and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that whenever I get extra time, one of my goals is to kind of circumnavigate all of Otsego Lake.
yeah, dude, it's a 5 mile long lake.
It is, but it takes a lot longer to actually do it.
Yeah.
So I figured it out, just how long, based on how fast I go. It's not overly fast, it's 3.4 at a, consistent pace.
Yeah,
And it would take about 8 hours to do the whole thing.
it's not terrible. That's a day's worth of kayaking.
Right.
I feel
I've
if you
tried before, and I've just ended up having to mail it in because my shoulders. But I feel now that they've got the endurance, just because I use them every single day, that I could probably, if I had the whole day, it was nice enough out there, and I just wanted to you know what, let's do this. I feel like I've got it now. So
Yeah. When I was kayaking the other day, I have inflatable kayaks. Everybody gets a kick out of them because we're using big kayaks and we're kayaking, and I'm like, hey, we should use my inflatable kayaks. And have you ever used them?
I've never used an inflatable one. I've just had the sit-in one before. I've had a sit-on one, and that just was not that comfortable. I didn't feel. If I don't feel secure in it, if I feel like I'm gonna fall out, it's not happening.
Yeah, I feel like that. They have really weird buoyancy, where it's really top heavy, and so you have to keep your feet down into the kayak.
Exactly.
Because when you're kayaking, you to put your feet in the water.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah.
Can't really
otherwise
be
you're
comfortable.
So, I might try sometime to go fishing in that kayak. I need to use them. I only use them one time. So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do like to consider myself just more an outdoorsy kind of person.
Yeah.
Definitely wanting to get up north. I still haven't been able to this year just because I've been been so busy as a licensed massage therapist. This is my first professional year doing it, so I'm trying to build a clientele and a nice rapport, and I'm constantly adding people to my schedule. So trying to accommodate that, and then also have some downtime. It's kind of hard to set aside 2-3 days to really figure out like, okay, got this to do that, and like it's just having to basically work around clients' time.
Yeah, well,
be a little.
Didn't you go up to like the UP a couple weeks ago, right? Or no, was that somebody else?
So it was just like, like for the day we went up to
Yeah.
like St. Ignace, and then just like we drove along US 2 to like the Cut River Bridge, and then we came back.
Okay.
It was,
Yeah,
it's
beautiful area up there.
it is beautiful, but just like a quick, just passing through sort of thing.
Yeah,
That's all we had time for.
The Cut River has like a really nice trail like underneath the bridge,
Yeah.
down to Lake Michigan and stuff like
Boy,
that.
and boy, I'll tell you, that's quite a hike just to
Yeah.
get down there. You're really having to so many steps.
Yeah. Is there steps now?
Oh yeah, to
Dude, like when I did it, there was no
under the
steps.
bridge. To get under the bridge, yeah, there's like 1,000 steps to get down, and then you obviously go back up.
Okay.
So, but it's very, like you said, it's got a great view.
Yeah.
There's this bridge, or not this bridge. There's this like this lake shore, which if you're driving along to heading towards like Newberry,
Yeah.
there's like this little stop, like car stop, where people like just pull to the side and they'll just get out of their car, and you can see the bridge. You can see just how far out Lake Michigan really is.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I was up there, I want to say like 2 years ago with our friend Cameron, and we stopped there, dude. It was like covered with bugs, because like the UP gets like terrible
Oh yeah.
with bugs. And I think we went in May or something like that, and it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll come home and my whole front, my hood, and the whole front of my car is just covered with them.
yeah, it sometimes when you're driving through down US 2, it just sounds like it's raining because there's so many bugs hitting your windshield.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. I think I went down there 2 years ago, and that was the first time, if I remember right, that was the first time they had the stairs open. And I don't think we took the stairs, because I think the new stairs are new.
Yeah, I think they're fairly new.
Yeah. Otherwise, if they're old, we probably went on the west side of the bridge and climbed down the way we weren't supposed to go to. But hey, that's fine.
Well, could be a rebel.
Yeah, big rebel.
Born to be one.
Yeah. So we usually stop there on the way up to Copper Harbor and for our geology trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it's a cool area to stop to. But what's your so you said that this is your first year for like being a licensed massage therapist. So how's that going for you?
So most of the time, I'd say for first year male massage therapist, doing very well. It is harder for men to succeed in this field just because it always has predominantly been a female oriented like career, and then you have clients who will prefer and want a female therapist. You'll have men who don't like to be touched by other men, females who are just picky about who touches them. Only my husband can touch me as a guy, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of being professional and just kind of just reassuring to let people know that you can earn their trust by just saying, well, this is what I do for a living. I'm professionally licensed. This is, basically like I have the credentials that I'm really good at what I do. And now that I think I'm seeing where that's going, the great reception that I'm getting, the retention that I'm getting, like people who book one appointment will come back and then they'll get another one and then they'll get another one. So I'm getting a nice rapport from the people that I've worked with. I also work at a resort in Bay Harbor, like on the weekends, and that's just kind of so it's not really just a side hustle, but it's just kind of an opportunity to just stay busy and improve like on my skill set. It's another work environment. It's totally different from like working at a day spa. Very time structured, and a lot of just people you'll see once, and then just a lot of vacationers, like people who have summer homes. Bougie kind of people for sure. It's much more pampering. Like you're kind of like giving them extra goodies just to fluff them up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it pays really well.
I used to work at a part in Bay Harbor. I didn't work in Bay Harbor, but I worked for an irrigation company that used to like go into Bay Harbor quite frequently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are very bougie, but that's rich people. Yeah. So hey.
Yeah, I mean,
to each their own.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, nice.
It's something that I worked for. When I was working at Culver's, I was doing the thing to get my education was like a bi-weekly program, but every other weekend actually, I'd go down there, and so I'd get that done, and then at the end of all of it, I had exams, and then I had a state board exam, and pending all of that, I could become fully licensed, which I mean. Gotta say, I mean, it's been great, man. It's been great. It's been great just to know that my hard work's been paying off, and I feel like I'm just getting better all the time. The more I do it.
Yeah. I remember when you were working at Culver's, you used to go down to like Mount Pleasant area, right? Every other week, and I was like, dude, that's quite a drive. That's like
fortunately
almost 2 hours away.
It was like an hour and a half, and fortunately, it's like a straight shot. You just get off 75 onto 127, and then you're there. So it wasn't like anything complicated, but it's just just a little something I had to carve out time for, and a little extra thing to throw on there. But if I couldn't do it, I wouldn't have done it. So
yeah, well, you hit the finish line, and now you're getting the start of your business. So that's good.
Yeah. It's maybe one day can be a full-time DBA and not even really have to worry about like other people's time, make it my own, set my own hours, set my own money rates and things. But
heck yeah,
with time,
with time. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I mean, like, I know you've been working for this for a long time, ever since you started working at Culver's.
Before that, even a little before then. So yeah, I already started the program like a couple of months before, just to do like a study, like course study.
Yeah.
And then the actual program started like the week before I started working at Culver's. So.
When did you start working at Culver's? That was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
It was the end of September.
Yeah, 2021, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. For some reason, a lot of the last year and the year before that blended in with each other. So
it was like a blur.
Yeah.
I mean, like the first 3 weeks between going back to school and working there, man, it was wild. But I was like, hey, I mean, if this is like the worst of I'm gonna feel through all this, and I'm doing it, then write it out. We'll get through it. So.
Absolutely, man. You gotta get your dreams job. So.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get your dream job somehow. It's a tongue twister for some reason. So yeah. I used to work at Boyne Mountain. I used to work at the spa area there.
Oh really?
Yeah, and they wanted to train me to be a masseuse, which I was really confused at because I was talking to you, and you said that therapists, like massage therapists and masseuse, were not the same, right?
Masseuse would be like a female. I mean, it's like the proper for female therapist. A masseur would be a male therapist.
Okay.
I don't know. To me, it's kind of like a bougie word just to use it. Like when people say they want a massage, they say, "Oh, I'll just typically say I'll be your massage therapist for today." Like, I don't know, just something about the word masseur it's kind of like fake fancy to me. I mean, I know it's like technically the word you could use, but some people think that masseuse is like applies to like both men and women, but it's a predominantly female industry. Okay. Masseuse is used a lot, but I mean, it's not really even so much the words that bother me. I don't really have any. If there's one thing that kind of irritates me is the non-commit. Is I'm committed to doing it, but you don't always get the reciprocity or the commitment from your clients. I've had quite a few people who will book and then not show up, and this is a resort thing too.
Yeah.
Like they'll have like this thing online where they can, they have like an online form to fill out specifying like what kind of service they want, how long they want it for, focus areas if they have like health, like any health problems, things that we need, like basically preliminary things that we need to know before we can begin the service. But they're also given the choice, would you like a male or female or no preference? If there's no preference, you just leave it blank. But sometimes people will forget that step, and then they'll get there, and then they'll see me walk out and greet them, and they'll wonder, well, who's gonna give me the massage?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I am. Oh, well, I wanted a girl. Well, why didn't you specify? So it can be a little irritating when I guess maybe a little statement here, don't quote me on this, but I guess the white male privilege does not exist in this field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've been turned away specifically for being a guy because they're not comfortable with it. I guess because, I don't know, maybe just kind of what I was saying before, like, there's some women that just only will let their husband touch their body, or they don't trust another guy, even though, I'm working here in a professional environment as a licensed therapist. This is what I do for a living. I'm not going to steer you wrong, sort of thing, but you can't argue with people. You're not gonna win them over by being,
argumentative with them.
Arguing with them, exactly. So that's one of that's and then there's some weeks where I'm just rolling. I'll get like 15, 20 people. Like usually like peak season would be like the end of like the Christmas season.
Yeah.
Like January through March is crazy. I mean, I'll be busy all day, every day for 3 months, and then you get into like May, June, beginning of summer, it tapers off. Summer's been pretty steady, but then we have another drop off like October, November it's like we call it the dead season. Like nobody gets clients then versus that is always seems to be like the downtime. So there's another little downside. It's just the what do you call it? The unstable income maybe.
Yeah.
It's just fluctuates. Some weeks are awesome and some other weeks I'm hurting. So it's doing the best you can though. It's like, I mean, I try to market myself, and then even my employer is like trying to come up with specials for me, and I'm pretty steady. Like I don't ever really turn anything down unless it's something that is totally unreasonable. Like an off-site massage things, sometimes we'll get those handed to us, like to go to somebody's house to do something, which sounds kind of sketch. But if it's like, I've done a couple of them. I did an off-site massage for at Treetops before, one of the cabins. So something like professional that's already they've already paid for it, sort of thing. Like But yeah, it's just a matter of, I guess, like trying to market yourself, which can be kind of difficult, coming up with like other ways to promote your service and your business. So that to me is harder than just like the actual labor aspect of actually doing it.
Yeah. Are you able to like use like social media to push it?
So yeah, the spa has, since I mean I don't have a DBA right now because my non-compete, I live so close to my office where I work, I can't really work from home. But we run specials on Facebook and Instagram, and then everyone who's in our system will get like a blast email if they want to be a part of it. Like they'll get emailed directly about like what specials we have going on, or if they, like when I first started working there, I think everybody who was like in the system like processed in our books was sent the email to let them know, like, oh, he's a new therapist. Come get to meet him, get to know him, work with him, sort of thing. So I think that overall it's been really nice to I guess just prod yourself to, like, okay, this week what can we do? Look into next month. You know, it's kind of different because my schedule fills in like as I go. Like I ask usually like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'll get like 2 days off, and then the weekends I'm at the resort. So I try to work in those 3 days, and it can be a little tricky to know just like how it's gonna be like this week versus the next week, but the last 5 weeks or so have been pretty steady. I also did something for Alpenfest, just like set up my chair.
Nice.
Little just a quick chair massage sort of thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was a lot of foot
That's
traffic
cool.
that way, so I made a little extra money that way too. So
nice.
Those sort of things are good too.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the past weeks, like all business up here, because all the tourists going through up to the UP, it's been extremely busy. So like, I'm not sure if you guys get like tourists coming through to like holistic spa.
We didn't have any like people like from like out of state per se. Like it's no one like foreign visitors, but
yeah, I'm not sure, but I'd feel like that's more like a local business place where like people, you get like a lot of local people.
We've had from some out of staters. I had somebody from Florida and then another guy from Indiana who came here, but once in a while, like you'll get people who like have summer homes or family who lives here and they're staying for the weekend and they'll come in. So
nice. Heck yeah, dude. Get all that money any way you can.
Heck yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, like, it's always cool, like, hearing people's stories and, like, getting to know, like, kind of like you can see, like, the origin story. Like, hey, I started here, and now I'm succeeding in my business. I'm growing my business. Mm-hmm. You know, this is your first year, so, like, everything is going to go up from here.
Oh,
it's like that's, like, the really coolest part is, like, dude, like, yeah.
And I think once you see that people are actually, like, you are worth what you're putting out there. Like your hard work has paid off. People really like you. People really booked out like every single day. I had like 14 people to do in 4 days.
Holy cow.
I guess she wanted to test out my workload to see, because she asked me how many are you comfortable doing a day. I said 4. 4 is probably about where I'd, and she's like, okay. And a lot of I think we had a couple of people who booked like the same day, but I had some like, you know, people like relatives of like people just like get familiar so that they could gauge how well I was doing and then kind of base my performance off their feedback. And it was a real challenge, but it's like, hey, I mean, you did this. I mean, you know that you can do it now. Like, if you can do this many people back to back to back to back in a day, it's just, self-care is important though too, because
yeah, definitely, you don't want to.
People have asked me so much, like, don't your hands get tired? Don't your shoulders get tired? You know, don't you just like feel just completely wiped after doing it? It's like, you know, maybe I've just got like fantastic wrists of steel, because I just don't really feel too much. I'm a forearms elbows kind of guy too. If I need to get pressure, I'm not gonna just like load up and, you know, just put so much on my wrists and my palms. If I need to, I'll use a forearm to get into a really sore spot, or I'll use my elbow, or I might even lean in and use, you know, the top, like the bicep too. Like there's working smart, and then there's working too hard. I think this is knowing like how to work, because in this industry you have to take care of your body.
Yeah. Have
to. Mechanics are important.
Yeah, like that one time I took you to go rock climbing, and you're just like, dude, I don't want to do this because like hurting the money makers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard too because there's some things that I've had to kind of turn away from because of that reason. I wanted to maybe do some winter sports this year, go skiing, even sledding or snowboarding. It's like, hey, if I fall, if I fall on my arm or something, if I fall back or something, I get cut or something like that, I'm out of commission for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I'm screwed.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I'm a risk taker, and I like doing a little bit more dangerous things. Probably I shouldn't do, because like if I get hurt, the same thing. I'm out for like a couple months, but like I'm not. My work is not based on clients, so it's different because like I can go back to work immediately. I don't have to worry about like building my clients and anything like that. So I get where I like that. I can understand you're worried because like when you come back after 2 months, you may not have,
Well, I'm sure that I'm sure that they would be able to book me out and book me in.
Yeah.
They'd still be able to get me. It's just like I'd have to get like a doctor's note, like saying,
yeah,
this is the ETA. How long it takes to recover. Yeah, you should be back, but 2 months on commission. I don't know if I could get by on that.
Yeah,
because I don't believe I get paid leave, time if I need to recover from that sort of thing. So yeah, it's definitely a concern of mine, but I'm in pretty good shape, like especially like my upper body's in pretty good shape, so I'm been able to handle the workload so far, and that's good because some days I'll have like just a couple people. Next day I'll have 5, and then I'll be
next day 20.
Just kidding. Yeah, it's just it's good to know because usually like the night before it's like okay, I'm pretty well prepared for like knowing what to expect like the night before. Like okay, my first one's at 10, and I usually get like a 30 minutes hour to relax and just stretch out if I need lunch or something, and then I'll get right back to it. So
heck yeah, dude. I've known you since you like started working at Culver's like 2 years ago, and man, your work ethic is like out of the roof. So like to me, there's like no doubt you're going to succeed in massage therapist.
Oh yeah.
So like that's why I'm excited seeing like you starting out this year, and then like dude, I'm like trying to imagine where you're going to be in like 5-6 years, and it's just going to be incredible.
Oh, I know. It's been very what's the word, gratifying, I guess. Yeah. It's just like, sometimes I've had that doubt in my head, like,
get rid of that doubt, man.
That doubt, like, is, what if this person doesn't like their massage, or just like what if you're just working too hard and you're gonna burn yourself out, and it's like, man, do you feel good at the end of the day? Like, your clients feel good, you should feel good. I mean, I guess it's just like that gratification comes from knowing that you're helping people feel better. Like, I get a real sense of like satisfaction and joy from that.
Yeah,
that
like,
I'm helping people.
Talking to you, just like like we talk all the time because we're friends. But just talking to you, I get the impression that you're extremely like passionate about massage therapy, and a lot of people like get their satisfaction from succeeding in their passion. So like that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been great. It's just it's been a little bit more of just just I don't know what I'm trying to say. More like I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but
Well, I mean, like, a cool thing too is like when I'm working at Culver's, I see like a lot of people, like a lot of teenagers, like 14, 15-year-olds, and that Culver's is their first job. And like, to me, I was talking to my wife the other day, and I was like, this is so exciting because like sometimes when you see 14 or 15-year-olds starting there, that is their first job, and I get the privilege of like showing them how to work hard and how to succeed, and not necessarily in the passion that they want to do for the rest of their life, but starting at a job and showing your work ethic and showing them that hard work actually pays off.
that's, I mean, if I'm being totally honest, seeing how hard you work and how other people work there, that kind of instilled me to push myself and be like, all right, just do it, man. Like,
dude, I'm so glad because that's what I want to do. Like when I'm working at Culver's, is like try to inspire other people. Be like, hey man, you can do this. Like, I mean, like, it's just Culver's, but like I'm trying to like, inspire other people. Like,
I mean, it honestly is it is a good starting job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of responsibility that goes into it. I mean, you got time management. You've got to be neat. You've got to be efficient. I mean, I guess consistency. There's also, I mean, if you're working with customers, there's personal public relations. How do you do customer service? What else? All those things are great life skills in general, not just like workplace skills, but you're learning life skills too.
Yeah. So like, I guess you can like put the same concept in toward like YouTube and stuff like that, because like for me, like I've had the idea of starting a YouTube channel for like multiple years, like probably ever since I was like, I want to say 21 or 22 or something like that. Now I'm 26. And I was trying for probably like 4 years, like 3 or 4 years. I was like, you know what? I really want to start a YouTube channel. I really want to do this. But I just kept pushing it off because I was like, I'm not really good at talking. I'm still not really good at talking in front of a camera and microphone and stuff like that because I stutter and stuff like that. But the point is I'm trying to make is like, screw that. Let me just start this podcast.
Yeah.
Let me just start this YouTube channel, because I've heard of like for so many like people who are actually really successful in YouTube and podcasts is like just turn the microphone on, turn the camera on, and record yourself. And like the same concept goes for like anything you do. It's like, you know what, I want, for example, it's like I want to be an engineer, or I want to do this. It's like, screw it. Let me just start working hard right now. Whatever I'm doing, I'm just going to work hard. And so when I'm an engineer or whatever I am doing, I already have that work ethic installed in me. And so like, I'm going to work harder when I'm doing something I enjoy.
Isn't that something? It's like, I love this, like, and it's like I feel like it's because it's something I love to do. Like I already am getting some sort of feeling of loving this because I love to do it, but then I see like where it's getting me as far as like other people like really appreciating what I do, and then I guess getting that retention, like people are coming back, people want more, and sometimes there might be a challenge, like where I might be in a situation where, hey, like, how am I going to go about this? Like they just told me something and I don't think I have the answer for it, but I'm not somebody who's going to say, no, I can't do that. Like, I feel like there is a solution. If there's a problem to something, there's got to be a solution. So just do your best, like, even if it means faking it.
Yeah.
Faking it till you make it. That's what they told me in school. It's like, you're all going through this together. I mean, so some of you it might take a little longer. Some of you might just get it right off the bat, and some of you it just might take some time, but point is, like, people aren't really gonna know. Like, if you feel like you're not that confident, don't, because people, they're not gonna know, and they're not gonna be thinking about, oh, like, this person shouldn't be doing that, or like this doesn't feel right. Like, it's just to relax. You're trying to get client to relax. So I need to be confident in what I know because that's enough.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, a thing I learned, because I played saxophone for probably 10
nice.
years.
That's nice. That's cool.
Yeah, like, one of the things they taught me is, like, if you make a mistake on stage, don't stop. Because nobody knows you're making a mistake. Barely anybody knows you're making a mistake. So just continue playing your music. And most people won't even realize. So, I mean, that probably can almost go for a massage therapist somewhat. Is like,
oh, 100%.
If you make a mistake. Like,
yeah.
Most people probably won't.
Yeah.
Even if it probably feels good still.
Exactly. It's like they probably, like you were saying, they probably might even be like, what I think is a mistake or a slip up, they might be like, oh man, you're right on that spot. That feels great. It's like, really? Because I thought I screwed up. I thought that I might have hurt you.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know you played saxophone.
Oh, yeah, dude. I played it for like... I started when I was... when I was 13 years old. And then I still play it, but it's not as frequent. So I played it when I was 13 up to like when I was like 20 years old or something like that. So almost 10 years. It's been like 7 years.
What made you want to take that up? To play the saxophone, yeah.
My music teacher, who was also my youth pastor at the time, he was like a huge inspiration toward me. So he played the alto saxophone, so I was like, you know what, I want to play the alto saxophone.
I've heard that's a very hard instrument to learn too.
I mean, the way I learned was first, like, you know, everybody has the horde playing the recorder stage. And all the keyholes for the saxophone are somewhat similar to the recorder. So it like took from the recorder and just basically installed in the saxophone. So like it wasn't difficult. But like saxophone masters, dude, like when you're listening to like people who play the saxophone, they're like awesome. Like
Coltrane,
soprano sax,
John Coltrane,
Kenny G also. Yeah. Dude, they're freaking amazing. It's like, how do you do that? Some people, when they play the saxophone and they're really good, they can make it sound like a violin. And it's incredible.
It just flows like, amazingly. John Coltrane will blow your mind. I will say, like, some people can like make a body like an extension of themselves. They're just that good. Like they're that ingrained and they're that in tune to it. Like you can feel it. Like they're actually like you can feel like this guy, like he was born with this guitar in his hands or this saxophone like on his shoulder. Like it's just amazing what some people are. Makes me wish like I had the natural gift, because I just think some things like that you just had the ability, you were born with it.
You play the guitar, don't you?
A little bit, but it's just like...
You play drums, definitely. You definitely play drums.
Oh, I definitely play the drums now. Oh, yes. And I think in a way, like, being a drummer might have helped me with my wrists and all that, because I've been playing for almost 20 years, so I think I've built up the stamina and the strength and this, I guess, the flexibility there that handling, massage therapy, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it was funny because like one time, Gaylord had a tornado last year and everybody was out of their job for a little bit, and we all hung out at one of our friends' house who had a drum set. I didn't know Alex could play drums. I didn't know you could play drums. And all of a sudden he gets up, start playing drums like some madman, and just all looking at him like, where did this come from? Where did you not tell us that you play drums?
It just never seemed to be the right conversation to say. It's like, hey Alex, do you play drums? Here's a drum set. Yeah. Let me show you.
That's true. It's not like where I work. Be like, hey, could you do dishes? Also, I play drums. Yeah. Dude, yeah. Like, music is like... I love music, like, especially, like, when people tell stories through their music. Like, the good example is probably one of my favorite albums by My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade. There's a huge story through it. And how they executed that story is just, like, amazing to me, how they did that. So... hopefully I'm going to make a YouTube video about that. Also, I've been trying to do that for like 2 years. So it's going to come out sometime.
There's YouTube channels, like, I don't know if you've seen The Needle Drop, Anthony Fantano.
I haven't.
There's like music review channels on there on YouTube that I really like. Like, not necessarily. Oh, I'm not really a fan of like the circle jerk and like. You think the way I do, therefore I like it. Like I like people who can give like a good subjective opinion on something, like something that's well thought out and some, like going through like how I really feel about something, like. Just, I guess, deconstructing a piece of art and then either just like praising it or crapping on it, whatever whatever you feel like. I think that's a talent of itself, being able to, I guess, just have an opinion on things, but not just like, oh, I like this, and that's it. Just like, this is why. I think that there's definitely something to be said about critics.
Yeah. Yeah.
People have, like, who can formulate an opinion.
I feel like that's pretty good for an hour.
Yeah.
So I guess that's pretty much it, what we're going to talk about. So thank you for tuning into the Insomnia. Wrong outro. Wrong outro. Thank you for tuning into the Breaking Chad podcast, episode 1, featuring Alex Weaver. Until next time, hopefully we can get these out every week, or we could like every other week or something like that. Get them on a consistent schedule at least. Well, until next time, thank you for tuning in.
Bye, guys.
Bye.